Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today, not going to spend too much time on the mic, just real quick, want to create a space for fans to kind of talk about what they're looking forward to in this draft. And also, before I get to that, just doing a kind of quick recap, I guess, of last year, nothing too in-depth, but as far as looking at the defense and talking about who was our MVP, so to speak, I think it's hands down got to be Khalil Mack. That's kind of a no-brainer with the amount of capital we gave up to get him, but then also the subsequent effect that he had on a lot of our players. I don't think that he made everybody like categorically better. But I do think he was categorically a different dominant player than we ever seen on our team. And that most definitely contributed to what we were able to put up as far as production. So, overall, I mean, if you listen throughout the year, you kind of know my thoughts. I would say our run defense, was pretty good, really good, but our pass rush from the front, I still worry about that. And I've been saying all year with Khalil Mack, if he's not doing it, then who else is providing that pressure? And I don't think we really ever got an answer. As good as Akeem Hicks can be, he's just not consistently that type of pass rusher to where he's going to demand some extra attention. And so Leonard Floyd was the top candidate and kind of turned up his game, but he didn't really ever hit that level, I think, this year. So, our front, I mean, between Goldman, Akeem Hicks, Mack, Roquan, and Trevathan, I think we're really good there. We're going to continue, Bilal as well. We're going to continue to add in some pieces, hopefully bring Roy or Robert Harris back, but I think we're fine there. Again, I think that pass rusher opposite Khalil Mack, that's kind of a big priority. Secondary wise, again, we play a lot better than I expected. I don't feel that Prince is going to, I'll give Kyle Fuller the benefit of the doubt because he turned it up back to back years, but I don't see Prince being a year older, being able to continue to do what he did. And so I'm looking at corner, but it's hard to even talk about that position without talking about bringing back Amos and Bryce Callahan, how important both of those two are. And Bryce has more pub, but I think for people that sit down and watch the tape, or if you just look around the safeties in the league, there's not a lot that you're going to name that's better than Amos. And so if you don't always see the flashy plays or numbers, understand that what he does for the system really allows us to be flexible. And we are moving to a different coach and might be doing different things. So maybe he won't be as important, but again, as I said, it's not too many safeties out there that's better than him. So that's really the reality where we just got to focus in on those two. And, as far as draft, we know we don't have a lot of capital. So slot corners aren't going to be easy to come by in the third round or later, and pass rushers aren't either. So it's going to be tough. So we might just have to, in this draft, kind of look at adding some type of depth player in our safety core, because behind Eddie and Amos, even if we bring them back, it's a lot missing there. So there we go. Offensively, as far as our MVP, that's a tough question. And I've thought about it, and I bounced back between so many people because the production really was spread out. And so not sure who I would get an MVP to. Because even offensive line wise, even when we finally got James Daniels in there, he was cool, but he wasn't a monster. Again, Whitehair was kind of having issues this year too. So it's hard to really say who the MVP is on offense. So I don't know. I don't think I'll name one, but that kind of goes to show when you're thinking about what we should be doing or looking at on offense, that it is kind of an optimistic picture, I think, because we aren't really losing anyone significant. And we have a bunch of guys that can contribute to the, overall offense. There's no one dominant person. So I think that actually is a positive. And that's one positive I always said about our receiving core. And so, having hopefully Shaheen be healthy and Trey Burton all season, that's going to help. We do like to keep a number of tight ends. It's a really good tight end class, so I wouldn't mind seeing them kind of going after one, in the later rounds to kind of add to that, group just in case somebody's hurt. But for the most part, I think we're good. We're solid. I mean, we definitely could take a swing at a receiver. Again, receivers, they're kind of a dime a dozen now, like running backs. So we could take a swing in the 5th round and get somebody. But, even having Javon Wims step up and make a contribution next year is a big possibility. So, it depends, I guess, what you want to do with Jordan Howard, number one. And then number 2, Bobby Massey, or I think Leno's safe, but Bobby Massey, if you want to look at trying to upgrade that area as well. So, I haven't got to the defense yet, as you probably seen on my draft stuff. But what I do know is that this offense is not a great class. The tight ends are a pretty good class, but other than that, not a good class for offense. And so most of the big name or the good prospects and the deep prospects are going to be on defense. So that might speak a little bit more to what we end up doing with free agency and what we do in the draft. So anyway, mostly want to hear from you. What do you think we're going to do in the draft? Who do you think was the MVP on both sides? Which position do you think stands to upgrade the most? All those different things. Go to the comment section, get the convo started. Share it around, thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.